Hey everyone, it's Shira Raymond, and welcome back to Suddenly Single. Hi everyone, I'm so excited you're here. I have an amazing topic today, and that is, are you afraid of change? I know for so many people, we go through life and we get stuck in certain ruts, I guess is the best way to put it. And growth can be really, really scary, but it doesn't have to be. For me, I've learned to embrace it. And the more that I learn to trust that everything that happens in my life is for my good, then I almost look forward to these opportunities for growth, because nothing happens in a vacuum. And we believe in Judaism that everything that God does is for the good, even though we may not be able to see it. And I know I talk about this message all the time, but I think it's really, really important for everybody to understand that, you know, challenges come our way to help us mold us to be the best version of ourselves. And so, are you running away from those changes out of fear, or because you've never learned how to really look at your emotions and to process them fully? You know, we have a choice when things happen. And for most of us, we grew up, we were denied our feelings. People tried to find solutions, or they judged us based on what we were feeling or what was going on in our life, instead of really giving us the opportunity to express what we were needed to express without being judged. And one of the things that I've learned to do in the last few years, and it's taken me a lifetime to really accomplish it. And I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely probably 80% better than I used to be, is really learning how to be an empathetic listener. You know, we need to be able to get our stories out, and we need people who are willing to listen without judging, without making comments, without trying to solutionize and figure out our problems for us. Because in most communications, and whether it be with couples or with other individuals, the biggest thing that people want is to be heard. And the only way that you can be heard is if the other person is actively listening and maybe asking you questions to help draw you out further. I know it's so frustrating for me uh, when I don't feel heard. And this has become one of the most important things that I'm looking for when I'm going out on dates or looking for somebody to spend the rest of my life with. There's two main characteristics right now for me. One is that he's an active listener and cares about what I'm saying. And the second is that he's appreciative of who I am and what I do. Because I think as women, we feel undervalued a lot of times. And I know for me, that's really what was the crux in the end of my marriage, was that I just didn't feel valued and appreciated for what I contributed to the marriage. And I knew that it was time for me to move forward and to create something different in my life. But I've been on dates recently, and I'm so blown away that these men are so clueless. I was on a date with this gentleman, and he said, maybe it was an hour, we went to go get something to drink, and he would ask me a question, and I would begin to answer the question, and then he would cut me off, change the subject, and start talking about something else. And after this happened the fourth time, I finally said to him, do you realize that you asked me questions four times? And while I was answering those questions, you interrupted me, changed the subject, and then went on to a completely different subject. And he's like, really? I did that? I said, yeah, 4 times. And he was like, oh, well, these thoughts come to my mind. And if I don't express them, then I'm going to forget them. And again, okay. I said, do you know what that says to a woman? I said, you're telling me that what I have to say isn't important to you. Women want and need to be heard, whether it be from our girlfriends, whether it be from our significant other, whether it be also talking to our children. Sometimes they need to be able to just express what they're feeling also. It's all part of the growth process and really learning how to communicate with each other so we can feel heard, that we can feel appreciated, and if somebody wants advice, you can ask them, oh, would you like advice? And if they say no, I just want to be heard, then you know exactly where you stand, and that's okay. I remember recently I was having a conversation with a friend. I went shopping with her, and she was complaining about a lot of people that are in her life, and that she didn't feel appreciated, and she had a hard time setting boundaries. And so we were having a discussion, we were talking about this. And then like 2 days later, she called me up and she said, I just need to say something to you. She said, I don't ever want to talk about those people again to you, and I don't want your advice. Are we cool? And I'm thinking, yeah, we're really cool. It's like, I don't need people in my life like that who feel like that's an appropriate way to talk to a friend. And so a couple of days later, I sent her a message and I said to her, listen, I said, you know what? If you had said to me, listen, I just need somebody to vent to. I don't want solutions. I don't want to discuss it. I just need to vent. I would have been like, cool. I know, fine. You set the groundwork for what you need. And I can respect that. But you can't get mad at me when you didn't express what it was that you needed. We're not mind readers. So one of the things that's really important for us as we grow and we change is to understand what your needs are so you can express them to other people in your life so you can get your needs met in a positive, empowering way. And it all begins with communication. And this is so hard for many of us women to, I know for me, for years and years and years, I did not have a voice. And I think it was because I didn't feel worthy of being heard. But ladies, you got to get over that because you are so worth it. And if you're feeling you're not, then I suggest that you reach out to me because your life can be so amazing and so empowering once you get yourself clear on what it is that you want to accomplish in your life to build your self-esteem, build your self-worth, and to show up in the world. One of the things that I really have been amazed by lately is I've been divorced. January was 2 years. And I feel like I'm getting my creativity on. Like I've allowed myself a safe space that I can now begin to create different things. So this TV show is one. I've started painting. I started taking a painting class. I'm doing some painting on my own, and that's a lot of fun. I started gardening. I can't believe this. I'm planted a whole bunch of chili pepper seeds and they're starting to sprout. And I'm so excited every day counting my babies to see how many have come up. But I've never done things like this before. But I'm allowing myself now, as I've healed and I grow, to experience new things in my life that are very enriching. And so I want to encourage all of you ladies that find your voice. And oftentimes we can't do this work on our own. We need other people to help us along the journey. Because most of the time, these messages are so ingrained in our subconscious mind that you can't do that work on a conscious level to really access them and release them because they get trapped in our bodies. They're somatic. And that's why I use so many different tools in my coaching, whether it be for the hypnotherapy or NLP, or I can do tapping, which is very somatic, or the peace process where you can help process those emotions that are trapped in your body. We need to learn skills and tools so we can blossom and become the people who we are supposed to become. So I want to encourage you to grow and to change and to embrace it and think big about what you would like the next chapter to be. Because the only person holding you back is you. And I want you to stop that from today going forward. So I have a really, really amazing offer for you ladies right now. I put together a 127-page self-care journal. And I'd love for you to go to my website to get it. And that's at selfcare, one word, .shiraraymond.com. I'll put the link up in a second. It's going to be on my outro. And download it. You know, we do not do enough self-care to take care of ourselves. And it's really important we do, because when we take care of ourselves, then we have more to give to other people in our lives. So please go check out this free resource, download it, print it, start working on it, because it works on every aspect of your life, on the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, every area, to help you to be the best version of yourself. So next week we have a really, really exciting show. I interviewed Stacy Francis from Francis Financial, and she's got a lot of great advice of how to protect yourself in your later years. So I'll see you next week on that interview. Download the free resource at selfcare.shiraraymond.com, and I'll see you next week.